I'm gonna say it because no one else will say it. Midnight looks boring. Like, the only things that look cool from what we've seen so far is the revamped Quel'Thalas, which looks cool, kind of makes me reminisce a little bit about when I used to roleplay back in the day in Silver Moon, because that used to be the hot spot for the Horde roleplayers on Moonguard for years before they all went to Orgrimmar. Which Orgrimmar's still cool, but I still kind of miss walking the streets of Silver Moon. It was kind of fun. Uh, and Zulaman. Zulaman, I'm a big Tauren troll orc fan, right? Troll stuff is great. I seeing the opening into Zulaman kind of like redone or whatever. That looked cool. Okay, so I'm gonna give Blizzard that. Zulaman looked cool. Silver Moon looked cool. I was like, oh crap, that actually looks pretty cool. But then they have the two new zones, right? One of them is kind of like a new uh nether what's it called, nether storm area, and it's got like the mana pumps and all this kind of stuff. It looks just like TBC mana or nether storm or whatever it's called. And what was the other one, that Harandir thing? I'm not showing anything because here's the thing. I actually recorded this already as a first impressions with the video, and the video got corrupted, so I'm just gonna tell you my thoughts. That's all this video is, because somebody asked me for it, so here it is. uh so yeah, this Harandir place, right? I don't give a fuck. It's supposed to be a land for that new race, the Harandir. I don't know if that's how you say their name. I really don't give a fuck. They're like night elf troll half breed things. No one asked for them. No one talks about them outside the game. I've not seen anything spoken about them, even from the freaking hardcore fans that lick up the slop. No one gives a fuck about them, but they're gonna be playable race. Who fucking asked for this? The people who created these characters are the same people who created fucking Volpira and Dragthyr. They're Tumblr artists. They're DeviantArt artists. That's all they fucking do is draw furry art. And then these guys, I know these guys are not technically furries, but they look like the art style of and the theme or whatever looks like it would come from those kind of people, right? So either way, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't give a fuck about their zone, the Netherstorm re zones, whatever. So Silvermoon and Zulaman are the only two zones that actually look cool. But four zones, four zones. I don't know what is it with Blizzard and just giving us less and less every expansion. We went from having like, how many was in TBC? Like one, two, three, four, five, about like seven leveling zones, and then of course you have the four other starter zones for the new races. So tons of zones. Wrath of Lich King, tons of zones. And then it just got less and less and less and less over the course. And then it kind of went back up with WoD. It had a good number of zones. And then it went down again with Legion and just keeps getting less and less. BFA had 6 zones. Okay, fair enough. But considering it was Alliance and Horde, really, it's only 3 zones that you're leveling in. So yeah, we get 4 zones. Cool. Dungeons and raids, par for the course. I don't give a fuck. That's every expansion, so whatever. New delves. Well, I haven't exactly played delves, but from what I've been told, they're basically Torghast 2.0, a la Withered Army 3.0, Scenarios 4.0. Basically, it's the same bullshit as every other thing that they just rename every expansion. So they said that there's good things about it. I haven't really looked at the delves, but from what I've seen of Torghast, there can be good things about it, but it was executed poorly. So I'm assuming that's what the delves are. I don't give a fuck. What else did they add? Oh, they're adding this new system called Prey. Now I thought, oh, is it like in a survival game, like in Grounded or in Valheim, or uh, there's other games I just can't think of them right now. But it's like you'll just be walking around doing your thing, and then suddenly the enemy is catching on to you, so they kind of like rush in and they come after you. You have to like fight them off. Like, I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I would kind of add some danger into the world because you never know when this ambush could happen, right? No, exactly what it is. It's a fucking bounty system, but you're seeking them out. And all it is it's gonna be like a creature or whatever that you have to go hunt down, and then they have special abilities that would make them harder. Okay, we already had this in the Wanted quest in BFA. Actually, no, these kind of quests have been around since fucking vanilla. You find a special quest to go hunt down a special creature that's different than everything else. This one will have a like an extra ability or two. Like we've had that kind of system in the game for fucking ever called Wanted quests. But now it's called Prey. So we get more recycled content just renamed. What else are we getting? Okay. So I did see this. Had to watch somebody else because I don't think all of the. I will say this: not all of the information has come out yet. They just did the announcement trailers, and then there's been some interviews. All the information I get that wasn't in like the initial trailers is from some guy who watched all the interviews, so far and has rounded it up, right? PvP. There's going to be a PvP open world zone. Good. Finally, PvPers get something. Hopefully, it's not as bad as Ashran. Ashran was trash. But they said that it's supposed to be more like Alteric Valley and what's the other one? Oh god, what's that Wrath of the Lich King one? The one with the really big Wrath of the Lich King battleground. Not Winter Grasp. The Isle of you know what it is. It's the Isle one with where you could go onto the airship, or you could go onto the like. It's gonna be something like that, but it's gonna be an open world one. And there's also gonna be an instanced battleground as well. So I don't know any information about the battleground, but it's like, okay, open world, new battleground. Okay, cool. PvPers are getting something. Sweet. And now we get to what we know so far, just given the trailer and what Chris Metzen said 2 years ago about the story. All it is Quel'Thalas. Why there? I don't know. Probably just because Sunwell. Ooh, okay. They're being invaded by the Void. So now it's going to be Void versus Army of Light. Okay, that could be cool. My problem on a grand scale, like the overall story, right? My problem is you're gonna see a lot of people, because this is multiple times this has happened. You're gonna have a lot of people bitch about fighting Void Walkers over and over and over and over and over. Void Walker, Void, Void, Void. Oh god, that made me dizzy. No, people did the same thing about Warlords of Draenor. They're like, we fought orcs for 14 months in Siege of Orgrimmar. Now we get 2 more years of fighting orcs. Like, and with Blizzard's wanton need for whatever reason to integrate the end of an expansion into the new expansion, they've been following this trend now of whatever the new expansion is, you're getting a taste of it. Therefore, you get a lot of stuff already, so you are already going to get a bunch of Void stuff. Now you're going to get a bunch of this, the end of, hang on, I'm trying to think of the name. The end of, what expansion was it? Oh my god, I can't fucking think. Holy shit, I can't think. I was gonna say, like, we got a whole bunch of Void shit in an expansion, and then later on in BFA, we got tons more Void shit. And now, 2 expansions later, we're getting an entire expansion of Void shit. Anyway, I am sick and tired of the cosmic stuff. They really, like, I hope to God Last Titan is the, okay, we're finishing all the storyline with the cosmic bullshit, and the next expansion, or WoW 2, or whatever comes after Last Titan, we're either resetting 50 to 100 years in the future, new stories, back to boots on the ground. I fucking hope and pray to God. Anyway, so that's the overall issue. Now, I can't speak to minor story details because the expansion's not out yet. But in terms of the cinematic cutscene that we got, Lorthamar looked great, okay? And there were a few of the battle scenes that looked cool. Like, oh man, the elves are going in there and they're fucking getting slaughtered by the void dudes, even though they're just all void elves. Oh yeah, that was one of the things. The reason why people are gonna get so upset is not only are they fighting void walkers, but they're fighting just different types of void walkers. Some are skinny, some have arms, some have legs, some are fat, some are blue, some are red. I don't give a fuck. They're all void walkers. Anyway, so yeah, so they're getting slaughtered by the void elves, and or not void elves. Yeah, probably void elves. They're gonna turn on us. Void walkers. And it was actually kind of cool. Like, oh man, the elves are going in, they're getting slaughtered. Lorthamar's being a badass. And then you have this fucking character. I didn't know who it was at first until he said Leodrin. And I'm just like, wait a minute, that's fucking Leodrin? They uglified her. Holy shit. Now, I saw her in-game model in the gameplay trailer, and it looked fine, okay? Fine, relative term. This is where she was, right? Let's say she was an 8, right? That's where Leodrin was. The cinematic trailer, she's down here. She's like a fucking 4. She is ugly. And then the new in-game model is like here. It's like a 5 or 6. It's fine. It's a 6. It's fine. But it looks worse than her old model. And I heard a lot of people like, oh, she's finally getting her own model. She already had her own model. She's had her own model for years. You know, she had the default one years ago, but then she got her own model later on. She's had her own model. Anyway, yeah, so they fucking uglified her. And her, I know she's a paladin and she prays to the light, but the first few seconds, okay, she's praying because she's nervous, whatever. And then they go out and they fight. And then she fucking abandons Lothamar to go pray and pray and pray. It's like, okay, fuck it. I don't know. The overzealous light stuff I find cringe as shit. Especially, oh, you got the hand on her shoulder, and then you see the army of light. Where the fuck did they come from? I don't know. Because they're in the Sunwell. That's a fucking island, right? Where the fuck did they come from if they were not already there fighting? So yeah, you get the army of the light come in. I found that cringe as fuck. Xal'atath is already cringe as fuck. I think she's the stupidest... Okay, second stupidest villain next to the Jailer. The Jailer is top dog when it comes to stupid villains that need to be retconned. They need to be retconned. But Xal'atath is the second stupidest because she's got nothing going for her. She's a big bad. That's it. What's her story? She was a dagger in Legion that did nothing. She kind of whispered once in a while. Okay? And then BFA, for like 2 minutes, she came out of the knife and went into an elf. And then she's like, bye. Okay. So, what else? Oh, she's back and she's gonna bring on the void. Okay. Is that her only motive? Like, we've had so many great villains, big and minor, like major villains and minor villains. So many great villains with motives, with you can understand what they're doing, why they fell, why they're doing what they're doing. Like, they have so much depth, so much emotion. Arthas, Illidan, Van Cleef, even Magatha Grimtotem, Garrosh, even though Garrosh did nothing wrong. You have so many villains. Fucking, what's his name from Zulaman? Oh god, I'm brain fart. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Fucking Zul'jin. There you go, Zul'jin. I had to pick him up. He whispered his name into my ear. Zul'jin. He has a badass story. Every major and minor villain we have had has badass stories. Have wants, needs, understandings, like I said before. We don't know anything about Xal'atath. She's big bad. She was a knife. That's it. She's goth mommy. That's why people that's the only reason people like her is because she's a goth mommy. 2008 goth, grunge, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, and the housing is something that we should have had since 2008. I'm just saying that right now. Yeah, better late than never, I guess. But here's a problem. So, the housing itself looks fine. I'm not going to complain about the housing itself. However, two things. That alone would not bring me back, because that's one system out of all of the other systems in a 20-year-old game that have gone down the toilet. or have been forgotten about or just half-assed. And second of all, everything that I just mentioned that's coming into Midnight, which is nothing, all of their time and resources went into housing. So, yeah, they were correct. You lose a raid tier when they have to work on housing, but probably we lost an entire expansion because of them building the housing, which I don't understand how that is when they have so many fucking people working on the game now, and they close down so many people to move them onto pre-existing projects, like they cancel projects to move on to other projects. Like, they have so many teams, and they could have worked on housing at the same time as other stuff, but all we're getting is housing, and then par for the course stuff, and a renamed system that we've already had for 20 years. So, again, housing alone, even though it looks cool, it looks like they did a good job, that alone is not going to bring me back to the game. Now, that being said, I might try retail when it comes out for, I'll pay for 1 month, okay? I think when you buy the expansion, they're giving you a month now, but whatever. I will pay for 1 month. Okay, I had to give a dog a rawhide so they would stop barking. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so I pay for 1 month because I can criticize what I know, and I know a lot about this game, right? I had been playing it since 2005. I can criticize every expansion to full depth except for Shadowlands, because that was the first expansion I had skipped fully. I cannot also talk about War Within, because that's the second expansion I have not played. So, even though from the sidelines of what I've seen I can criticize, I can't criticize it to the full extent because I haven't actually experienced it. Dragonflight, I can because I experienced it. I at least tried it. Now, I didn't do the most recent patch of it, right? But I played a good amount of it. I thought it was trash, and then I quit. But then I can say why I quit, okay? So, that is why when War Within comes out, good chance, it's still a chance, maybe not, but maybe so, I will get a month of game time and try it out. I'll look at it myself, right? I'll play it so you don't have to. And I will say, okay, this system, not bad. This system, pretty good. This system, trash. Here's why. So, that's going to be it, right? All right, that's going to be my thoughts on what I saw of Midnight. Again, I had this whole thing with, I had the trailer, and I was doing a first impressions, giving my thoughts at the same time, but I went to go edit it, and it's just gone. I'm like, where'd that video go? I don't know. So yeah, this is just my overall thoughts of what we've gotten so far. Again, they're going to have more live streams over the next couple of days during Gamescom or whatever it is for more information. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna report on it. I don't give a fuck. So whenever it does come out, probably next year, I will check it out and I'll report back to you. Until then, I hope you all have fun playing Turtle WoW or Project Epoch or whatever server you're playing or waiting on. I think it's time to go play Project Epoch. I skipped it the last couple of days. I need to catch up. Bye. Oh yeah, I just want to add this in real quick. I saw a couple of people saying, I'm so glad that they didn't kill off Lorthamar. I have expected that too. I have expected that too, right? But I think Lorthamar will be safe because, again, all these fucking story writers are Tumblr, Twitter, or yeah, Twitter, I guess, but Tumblr, DeviantArt users, and they're the kind of people in the shipping crowd, right? A lot of people love the Lorthamar Thalyssra ship, so because they don't want to hurt their ship, I think Lorthamar will be safe in terms of death. But 90 to 99% sure they're going to emasculate him. and they're gonna make Leodrin the big, powerful, badass Whammon. So, yeah. Anyway,